Having to part with a cat, regardless of age, can be incredibly difficult for everyone involved, both human and feline. However, separating kittens that have formed a very close bond can have some pros, although these positives do require the proper context. Make no mistake, this isn't easy, but sometimes separation just has to be done. Before I tackle today's topic, I'd first like to talk about the power of the bond. What does it all really mean, and what is it that makes this topic and ones that are similar so very difficult? When you're talking about bonded cats, it's just not the brother and sister angle, a mother and her kittens. Any cats can form a tight relationship. They don't have to be related. If you've got two cats and all they've ever known is each other, how they came to know each other is actually irrelevant compared to the power of the actual bond. It's like humans. Some friends are as strong as family, and some family, well, they're not even really family at all. Cats that come up together, that sleep in close proximity, cats that groom each other, felines that play together, eat meals together. These are the building blocks for a bond. And when that day comes where one cat is removed, it's tough. Generally speaking, the side effects, if you will, of separating bonded cats can be quite profound. The event itself can be traumatic, and anxiety and depression can set in. Some cats will resort to aggression as a way to cope with the situation. The cats, the one taken and the one left behind, could also display lethargy, a refusal to eat and drink, and also engage in severe overgrooming, almost to the point of self-harm. Some felines, depending on age and the actual length of the bond itself, will never make a strong bond with another feline. This is one of the main reasons why adopting cats in pairs is recommended. Rather than splitting the bond is merely transported to a new location with a new owner. The connection's still very much intact. You see this often with adult cats, as breaking the bond of older felines can be all the more difficult, as more time naturally equals a greater bond. With respect to separating bonded kittens, I hinted at some positives, and yes, there is a glaring pro. It doesn't make the task easy, but it can help. Kittens, just that word alone, can soften the blow. Kittens, even bonded kittens, simply haven't been around long enough to form deep and somewhat complex and dynamic relationships. They're still just trying to get a feel for the world as a whole. Everything is still so new and fresh. This is why separating bonded kittens can be okay. Very young cats are also adaptable cats, eager to explore new things. This is why, unlike older bonded cats, kittens are many times separated during the adoption process. And while this is certainly not to say that a healthy transition will happen overnight, make no mistake about that. However, time will heal all wounds, as the mere lack of time in the world, in the most literal sense, will allow kittens to move on much easier and much faster than, say, two 7-year-old cats that have never spent a single day apart. And here again, going back to the human example, it's easier on a young heart and mind when you're, say, 10 years old and your very best friend moves away, compared to being 50 and your friend of 40 years moving away. You'll have the maturity to deal with it, but you've also got 40 years of memories that a 10-year-old just doesn't have. Young people are resilient. Young cats are very much the same. When it comes to kittens, if behavioral issues are present after a separation, human love and affection is the cure. Kittens will need that all-important confidence booster, just a sign to let them know that things have changed, but they won't be going through the journey of life all alone. It can be tough to part with a cat, tough on you, tough on the pet that is leaving, and tough on the cats, young and old, that are left behind. The good old days weren't always good, and tomorrow ain't as bad as it seems. That's a line from a Billy Joel song. It really does translate, even down to cats. So what happens if you separate bonded kittens? In all likelihood, there'll be a short time of sadness for the cats in question, followed by many, many years of a wonderful and happy life, surrounded by loving people and perhaps a few new animals along the way. Cats can get through a lot of tough times if they know that we're around to love them and provide. If we all do our part, everything will be just fine. Remember, life is a book filled with many chapters. The same is often true for our feline friends. Thanks for watching.